Alright guys, so today's watch was 47 meters down, which is something that I've wanted to see for a while. It came out last year and it wasn't in theaters long enough for me to go and see it. I just must have not been able to see it at that moment because when the movie came out, I usually try to see every movie in theaters, but it was gone, I guess. So, I mean, it was gone quick, like maybe a week or two, which sucks because usually movies like this aren't going to last long. So, I finally got to watch it on Netflix, which I was really excited for because this movie, I watched The Shallows a year before that, which was a shark movie that I didn't expect much of, but I enjoyed a lot. It's nowhere good as near as like Jaws or anything, but it was really fun, The Shallows. And then we had 47 meters down, which is very similar to that too. Except this time they're in a cage and go down 47 meters and are stuck down there. And in terms of intensity, this movie, it isn't like the best thing ever, but in terms of intensity, this was incredibly thrilling. The movie itself is fine, it's okay, but the moments of being thrilled are really incredibly good. When they go down, whenever chain breaks and they're down on the ground, 47 meters down, they go down, and then the sharks near them, they keep finding ways to get cut open and are stuck down there bleeding and are losing oxygen, losing air supply, and every time they try to get out, the shark gets near them. And the way that they do that in this movie, it blew me away. Just, it really felt like no matter what, these characters were doomed. And it's a movie where you would expect the ending that you'd expected to have, but I kind of thought the ending was different than what I expected, which I thought was good. But in terms of intensity, this was really, really incredible. The movie itself is okay, but the intensity just blew me away. And I thought that as the movie goes towards its end, like, it is a hour-and-a-half movie, but I feel like it needs to be cut down a tiny bit, because there's some parts where I'm like, okay, you can speed it up because there's not anything going on. And this one, towards the end, it was really, really, really intense, because the way that they have to get out, and they have to literally go up to the surface because they don't have any other way. The second time the chain falls down, or the cage falls down and the chain breaks, that second time I sat there like, what the fuck? How are they going to get out of this now? Like, seriously, like, they have taken 2 times to try to get back up, or be on the chain twice, and then it broke twice. And just how that is perceived in the movie just is great. And then they finally make it up, and after many times of getting out slowly out of the cage, being on ground, trying to run past the shark, hiding in rocks to get away from the shark, and then there's this scene where they both get up, they both survive, and then freaking one of the girls Lisa gets pulled down. Lisa's Mandy Moore's character. She gets pulled down while they get up there because they finally make it up in the water, up out of the water, try to get onto the boat, get dragged down, or she gets dragged down. She literally rips the shark's eye out, and then it lets her go, even though it literally ripped onto her leg, and her leg should have been gone. But then, this moment, I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Because the ending, I mean, it's better when I watch the whole movie, or the whole ending, but the second this moment happened, the twist where Lisa she gets out of the water with Kate, they both make it out, they both sit there, then Lisa looks at her hand that's bleeding, and it's actually making blood like fly out, like she's in the water on that cut mark. And then you realize that she has gone, because of what is down there, like being stuck underwater, it's messed with her head. And then you realize that she's back down there. I'm like, oh no, is this like a Descent ending? Like, what? Like, don't end it like that. Even though I love the ending of Descent, but I guess the British version of that, the British ending of the Descent. But this one, the way, like, you just realize she's down underwater again. I'm thinking, no, don't end it like this. Do not. But they don't. they make it to where the coastmen who are gonna get there already, who are already gonna get there, so it makes sense, I guess, through that fake out like ending where she's just hallucinating. It makes sense, I guess, because the coastmen never came. So now they're there, they get Kate out, and then you realize that Lisa has died, because earlier in the movie Lisa goes out to try to like communicate. She's got to get higher up, like at least 40 meters up to communicate with them. But then you realize that she's dead, and I liked how the movie played with that, because it didn't. Since there was that twist ending hallucination, it made me think, did she actually die or not? But then she did, and I like the fact that Lisa is going up with the coastman. They're flying. They're going back up on top into the water where she's gonna make it out. And then she starts crying, and then realizes that her sister's gone, and she's just been hallucinating, like they made it out. But she makes it out though, and that just, I mean, that was a good way to end it, and that was a good thing to do, because these characters are not amazingly written, but they are likable, and they're interesting in their own right, even though they're just simple characters. But I thought that the actresses did a good job with playing these two sisters, and they have like some backstory that's typical backstory, like Mandy Moore is her boyfriend has moved out on her, and like they reconcile over that, like stuff like that, where it's just very simple dialogue that's like for an audience, it's like, oh, you feel bad for her because she's in a rut right now. But I didn't mind these characters. They were simple, but they were fine. And the movie itself is simple, but overall it's just fine, except for the intensity, which is really fucking good. And the movie's beautiful too. Like when you're not underwater, it's beautiful. Wherever they filmed that at, that was incredible. How it looked, how it was shot. Being underwater really worked, because I know it's dark underwater anyways, but the way it was shot, it looked good underwater. It looked very dark and deep, and I know that's what water is obviously going to be like in underwater, but it looked really good. And the movie itself, like I said, overall it's just one of those movies that's perfectly okay with the story elements, but like as a thrilling moments, I really was on the edge of my seat a lot of the time. And I did like the ending. I did like that one of the sisters is gone and the other one just made it out, but she lost her, and you felt for this character, because they did have some development, even though it was simple. But yeah, this movie, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought, even though it's a basic movie, it has a lot of fantastic thrills. So that is worth the price of admission alone. So I enjoyed it, and I thought tonight was a good movie watch.